Hello and welcome to Rise Unwind. My name is Dan. You know, each and every week we try to talk to people from across the country about things you could do in your neighborhood. And on this week's show, we got this.
It really makes it easy to choose a heart-healthy snack that's easy and delicious.
All of that and more right here on Rise and Unwind. We talk a lot about patient care, but we don't often talk about all the toll that care can take on doctors themselves. There's a new survey that shows more than 50% of surgeons report frequent burnout, with many questioning whether they could stay in the profession long term. So today we're joined by Dr. Africa Wallace, board-certified thoracic surgeon and global VP of medical affairs for surgery at Johnson Johnson MedTech. Great to have you here, Dr. Wallace. How are you?
Good morning. Thank you for having me. And I'm glad we're talking about such an important topic.
And when you look at the Behind the Mask survey results, what stands out most to you about the current state of surgeon burnout?
Yeah, I think one of the things that the survey showed was really gave us a clear picture of what surgeons are experiencing today. We surveyed more than 1,500 surgeons across 5 countries. And I actually wasn't surprised to see that more than half said they experienced burnout sometime. Now, this is not about getting a headline. It's not about being an alarmist. But I think this is a signal that we need to take seriously.
And how does this level of burnout ripple out to the patients, the hospitals, and maybe the healthcare system as a whole?
Yeah, you know, it does it in a practical way. It impacts capacity and it impacts access. So the survey reported that more than 40% of the surgeons who experience frequent burnout said they considered leaving the profession. Now, anytime you lose a surgeon, it's hard to replace them. It's not easy, it's not quick, and it's costly. So when a surgeon steps back from practice, you know, patients can experience longer wait times. There may be lack of access to specialized care. And for the teams that are left without a leader or without one of the surgeons, they feel that pressure as well. So by supporting surgeons in this endeavor, it helps us preserve access, strengthen teams, and it really helps us allow surgeons to stay in the field that they love.
And surgeons point to a few different causes. What are they saying feels most overwhelming right now?
So it's a combination of things. It's not just one thing, but let's highlight, you know, some of the top 3 ones. So first, it's clinical intensity. Patients are sicker, cases are harder, and managing a patient throughout the entire patient journey can be emotionally taxing. There's a lot of personal sacrifice. There are long hours, there's unpredictable schedules. That makes it hard to recover and to connect at home. More than half of the surgeons say that they feel guilty about not spending enough time with their loved ones. And then lastly, which is probably one of the most important ones, is the administrative burden. Getting a patient to, through, and after the operating room requires a lot of paperwork. Surgeons are spending a lot of time doing non-clinical tasks, and it's really taking them away from what's important, which is patient care.
And the survey did also ask about solutions. So what changes do you think surgeons believe would have the biggest impact?
Yeah, they were very practical and fairly simple as we try to address these. So the first thing is relief for the administrative burden. You know, can we innovate on technologies, perhaps AI, to provide some of that relief so that we can give back time, they can start to focus their energy on what's important and why they got into surgery, and that's patients. They want better connection, even with their own peers. Surgery is a culture of silence, and you can imagine that it's isolating if you're experiencing some of these symptoms and you feel like you're alone. You know, they said that simple conversation allows them to feel seen and heard. And then lastly, they would hope that we can identify ways to recognize burnout earlier, perhaps even preventing it with this early recognition, and to provide resources that would give them support. So it's less administrative burden, better connection, and more support if burnout is actually experienced.
Dr. Wallace, I want to thank you for joining me today. For anybody out there that just wants to learn more, dig into the data, where can they go?
Yeah, thank you for asking that question. Please go to thenext.jnjmedtech.com/behind-the-mask.
Dr. Wallace, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for raising awareness.
Healthcare costs are always top of mind, especially right now. So there's new data that shows nearly half of Americans are worried about affording care this year, and many aren't sure they're even using all the benefits they already have. So joining us with some practical ways to manage costs and make smarter healthcare choices is Amy Jordan from United Healthcare. Amy, welcome to the show. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Healthcare costs are a major concern for families pretty much everywhere. When people feel overwhelmed by it all, what are a few smart first steps they could take to better manage those costs?
Absolutely. We certainly see those costs rising, and we think that healthcare should absolutely be more simple, more affordable, and frankly, more personalized to each individual's healthcare journey. So the thing that I recommend that people start with is when you get a new plan year, your plan starts, make sure you're really understanding what benefits that you have. So understanding what your costs might be from a premium or a deductible and out-of-pocket max, but then also really digging into some of the tools and resources that are available through your insurer to really understand how you can go about navigating all of the different benefit options that you have and really making sure you're understanding those costs before you actually are receiving the care in the provider's office.
And a lot of plans now include digital tools, but many people don't really know how to use them. How can those tools actually make accessing care a little easier and less stressful?
Yeah, as an insurer, we do really want people to save money and we really want them to live healthier lives. So these tools and resources are great opportunities for members to engage to do just that. From a United Healthcare's perspective, we're very much focused on bringing forward tools like cost estimation and provider search to help make sure people can truly understand where they should go for care and what they can expect to pay. Additionally, there's oftentimes programs that are digitally enabled that allow for chronic condition management as well. And so someone that has those benefits should really make sure that they're understanding them and taking advantage of it. For us, one of the key parts of our digital experience is Smart Choice. It is a tool that allows members to come in, find in-network providers in a simple, easy to understand way, and then estimate those costs before they're actually getting in that doctor's office so they don't get that surprise bill and feel much more confident in the decision that they're making.
Vision and dental benefits often do get overlooked. Why are those specialty benefits so important for overall health, not just our smile or even our eyesight?
You make a really great point. Oftentimes we think about healthcare in silos. You've got your medical care, you've got your dental care and your vision care, but really they should be working together in that total health, that whole person health way. And so if you have those benefits as part of your plan, make sure you're taking advantage of them. From a dental perspective, those biannual exams are not only great for you to make sure that your gums and teeth are healthy, but it's also a potential opportunity to screen for any cardiovascular risk. Similarly, on the vision side, that annual exam is great to make sure your eyes are healthy, but it also can detect up to 270 different types of diseases, or at least indicators of potential risk for those diseases. And so it's a great way to make sure you're staying on top of that preventative care in addition to that sick care when you need it and you're having to go into a care setting to receive them that acute care.
And when somebody gets sick or hurts, the ER could feel like that default option. But what should people think about when deciding the best place to get their care?
Yeah, lots of people really do think of the ER first when they think of being sick. And we certainly want to encourage people that are really needing the ER to utilize it because it's there for a reason. And it's a great way to make sure that you're staying on top of that when you're really in those dire situations. But there are oftentimes lower cost alternatives like a virtual visit or an urgent care visit that certainly can help address things like a cold or a sinus infection or pink eye. And so really kind of stopping and thinking about when I should be going to the ER and when I shouldn't, and educating yourself about that is another great way to really help contain those costs throughout the year, because oftentimes those resources are in place to do just that and really make sure you're still able to get the care that you need.
And for anyone out there watching who wants to dig deeper or review some of their options, where should they go for more information?
Yeah, if you happen to be a United Healthcare member, you can download our app. Otherwise, you can go to uhc.com to learn a lot more.
Amy Jordan, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Do you ever feel like eating for your heart sounds harder than it needs to be? With February being Heart Health Month, we're focusing on small, realistic choices that actually add up. So joining us is Mia Sin, a registered dietitian, to talk about the heart benefits of macadamia nuts and simple recipes families can enjoy. It's great to have you back with us, Mia. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me back.
All right, when people think about heart-healthy foods, where do nuts fit into that picture?
Yeah, so nuts may be small in size, but they are packed with heart-healthy nutrients. For one, they're rich in heart-healthy unsaturated fats, and some contain omega-3 fats, which have been linked to a reduced risk of heart disease when consumed regularly. They're also a natural source of fiber, which helps to support healthy cholesterol levels.
All right, there are a lot of nuts out there. So, what's unique about macadamia nuts when it comes to heart health?
Yeah, so macadamia nuts contain the highest levels of monounsaturated fats of any nut, which are associated with improved cholesterol levels. They also offer a more favorable balance of omega-3 fats to omega-6s compared to many other nuts, which also helps to support heart health. And one of my favorites are the Mauna Loa macadamias because they offer so many varieties. There's one for everyone. There's sea salt, honey roasted, and their new dill pickle flavor. It really makes it easy to choose a heart healthy snack that's easy and delicious.
All right, so you mentioned monosaturated fats play a role in improving cholesterol levels. How do they do that?
Yeah, so monounsaturated fats support healthier cholesterol levels by improving the balance between good and bad cholesterol. So when monounsaturated fats replace saturated fats in the diet, they help to lower bad LDL cholesterol while maintaining good cholesterol. So enjoying foods that are high in monounsaturated fats like macadamia nuts is a simple way to support your heart health as part of a balanced diet.
All right, you're also sharing a few easy recipes using macadamia nuts. What is one that people could start with right away?
Yeah, so these recipes make Mauna Loa macadamias the star. They're super versatile. One easy way to enjoy them is as a snack. Just pair with some fresh fruit to build what I call a snack with staying power. You get healthy fats and that filling fiber. They also work beautifully in salads as a crunchy crouton swap. And you can also blend them into hummus for extra creaminess and those healthy fats.
Give me a sin. I always dig when you're here. Can you give us where our viewers could go for more information, maybe some more ideas?
Yes, for more information, you can head to maunaloa.com, and you can also find the Mauna Loa products locally at Publix, CVS, and Walgreens.
Mia Sin, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
If a cruise is on your radar this year, timing and planning matter more than ever. From destination-focused voyages to better value during wave season, cruising in 2026 is all about upgrading the experience. So today we are joined by Wesley Da Silva from Regent Seven Seas Cruises to walk us through the top trends and what travelers should know before they book. It's great to have you today, Wesley. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing well, and thanks for having me, Dan.
All right, so when we look ahead to 2026, what cruising trends are really shaping how people are traveling?
Yeah, the overall theme in 26 seems to be convenience plus confidence. So the first trend we're seeing is this ease without compromise, where travelers are looking for enhanced experiences, but with ease of access. So those close to home sailings, whether it's the Caribbean, whether they're looking for something a little bit more adventurous like Alaska, or even Canada and New England during the fall season, so that they can take advantage of the fall foliage. And then the second trend we're seeing is kind of this expansion of demand for Mediterranean itineraries. Historically, we see a lot of demand during those peak summer months. However, over the last couple of years, we really are starting to see travelers wanting to go to the Med throughout the year, including even during the winter, when there are just fewer crowds and the temperatures are a little bit cooler. And then lastly, the third one we're seeing is the importance of culinary as part of the overall experience. So travelers wanting to go and experience those destinations, those cultures, and a big portion of that has to do with the food and the local flavors. So hence culinary becoming such an important part of the overall experience.
All right, in my intro, I mentioned wave season. What does that mean, and how do travelers, how could they use that to their advantage?
So for those that aren't familiar, wave season is the cruise industry version of Black Friday, Cyber Monday, all rolled up into one. And wave season is now, and it runs through the end of February. For example, Regent, we have our most expansive offer throughout the year, going on right through February 28th, which is our Upgrade Your Horizon offer. And it encompasses destinations through 2028. And it includes a free 2-suite category upgrade, plus reduced deposit. And we're even throwing in a $500 shipboard credit on select 2026 sailings.
So what are some practical tips for getting better value or maybe some possible upgrades when trying to book a cruise?
My most important tip is to book early. Don't wait. What we've seen over the last few years is a lot of people are trading in those goods for experiences. And that couldn't hold more true for luxury cruising. And what we're seeing is this increased demand for 2027 and 2028 departures, while still seeing some really close in demand for 2026. So if there's a destination, if there's an itinerary that catches your eye, don't wait, book today. And then in terms of the upgrades, as I mentioned, we have our Upgrade Your Horizon offer running through the end of the month. and take advantage. You'll get a little bit more value, and you can potentially upgrade all the way up into our penthouse category, where you get a little bit more space and some added amenities, such as that personalized butler service.
And Regent is also known for that like ultra luxury cruising. What sets that experience apart?
Ultra luxury cruising is all about that enhanced getaway vacation with exclusive experiences and that all-inclusive nature. With Regent, we are the most all-inclusive ultra luxury cruise in the industry, and we include things from unlimited shore excursions at every port of call. We include fine wine and spirits, specialty dining across all of our specialty restaurants, in-suite room service 24 hours a day. We even include things like Starlink Wi-Fi and valet laundry. We really try and take into account everything that our guests would want so that they can just relax and enjoy the destinations that they're visiting.
All right, if people want more information or want to start planning, where should they go?
They should go to rssc.com or contact their travel advisor.
Wesley, I want to thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Have you noticed how Valentine's Day kind of sneaks up on your social media feed pretty much every year? Suddenly it's big gestures, perfect couples, and everyone else's highlight reel. And if you're single or going through relationship stuff, it can mess with your head a little bit. So this morning, we wanted to bring an expert to add some perspective and help people stay grounded through all of that. So joining us is Frankie Turkirst, a licensed mental health counselor with BetterHelp. Frankie, it's good to have you here. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me.
I'm curious, without getting into anything confidential this time of year, what are people telling you they're struggling with? And does a lot of it tie back in what they're seeing online around Valentine's Day?
Oh, yes, for sure. A lot of my clients are big fans of social media. However, with the holiday upon us and the increased usage of social media, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, you name it, a lot of times this can start to fuel really unhealthy habits, primarily what I call the comparison trap, where we start to compare our lives with all the highlight reels and perfection that we're seeing online.
Okay, you just mentioned the comparison trap. When people are constantly scrolling and comparing their lives to what they see on social media, what does that do to someone emotionally?
Absolutely. So this is a natural tendency. Any of us can fall into this comparison trap. Again, it's kind of seeing what we think is perfection online, weighing that against our reality. So my best piece of advice is try to compare you to you, not to other people. So if you've had growth or accomplishments in your life, try to focus on those things. Secondly, practicing gratitude for, again, what you have, not what you feel you're missing from other people that are posting about it online. And third, seeking support. So friends, family, or hey, even maybe a therapist through BetterHelp, whether that's online or through our app, can be helpful in this time.
What about for people that are single right now? If Valentine's Day feels heavier this year, what are some realistic things people could do to protect your mental health, even in small ways?
Absolutely. So that's a hard one. If you are feeling lonely around this Valentine's Day season, that is completely valid. Just know that you're not alone in how you feel. A lot of my clients are doing Galentine's Day, where all their friends bring over some dessert and they watch a movie. Just know that you can do it your way. You can take yourself out to dinner. You can take your dog on a walk, hang out with your cats. You can hang out with non-romantic connections if you have them in your life. The biggest thing I would say is try to do something that makes you happy and maybe take a break from social media until the weekend is over.
And on the flip side, for people that are like deep in relationships, do you see pressure there too? The idea that the day has to look a certain way, or that you're supposed to do certain things, or you get guilt or blame if that doesn't measure up right?
Absolutely. So going back to that highlight reel concept we talked about a moment ago, we in relationships can feel like, hey, what do I post? How many likes will I get? What type of reel do I need to curate in order to put it out for all my followers? A good thing to kind of think through is, hey, am I doing this because it makes me and my partner happy? Or am I doing this to impress other people? So if it's the former, that's a healthy way to be. Talk with your partner, have an honest conversation about what the both of you want, versus the latter of what am I doing online to try to get likes and views, and that can be very unhealthy for a lot of us.
And if somebody wants more resources or support, where can they go for more?
Absolutely. So with BetterHelp, good news for Florida residents is we are now accepting insurance. Some of us therapists are now taking that, like myself. So please go to betterhelp.com/insurance for more information on how to get connected with us.
Frankie, I really want to thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. Enjoy your season.
February is American Heart Month, and it's a good reminder that the choices we make in the kitchen really do add up over time. Heart disease remains the leading cause of death in the United States, but experts say everyday eating habits can play a big role in protecting heart health. So joining us this morning is Jackson Blatner, a registered dietitian, nutritionist, and certified specialist in sports dietetics, who's here to help share some simple, heart-smart meal ideas using a familiar ingredient. Welcome to the show, Dawn. How are you, my friend?
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for having me. So excited to be chatting with you.
All right, February is American Heart Month. Why is it such an important time for people to take a closer look at what they're eating day to day?
Yeah, so here's how I think about it. When the calendar goes to February, you got to remember that your heart is working so hard for you every single day. And there are foods that you can eat to help support it. But the big thing is you don't need this grand overhaul of your whole diet. That really what works is starting small. You could have just a few heart-smart ingredients in your house that you put into your recipes throughout the week. And so that makes it less intimidating and very doable.
You're featuring sweet potatoes as part of a heart-healthy meal. What makes them such a smart ingredient when it comes to supporting heart health?
So yes, it's Heart Month, but it's also National Sweet Potato Month. And I love that they both fall into February because sweet potatoes are known as the orange superfood. They are great for your heart because they have fiber, potassium, and vitamin A. And these three nutrients really support your heart. Healthy cholesterol levels, healthy blood pressure, and that's very important for nutrition. But I also love that sweet potatoes are practical. They're easy to make and they're easy to find year round. And a very cool fact is about 2/3 of them are grown in North Carolina.
For families who want to eat healthier but still need meals that are realistic for busy weeknights, what are some easy ways to upgrade everyday recipes?
Okay, the key to families, or really any of us so busy, we need ingredients that are versatile, that you can throw into a bunch of different recipes. And that's why I really love sweet potatoes. They are so very versatile. But here's a hack for you. You've got to know this hack. I do a big batch once, and then I use them through the week. So for example, I'll cut sweet potatoes in half or in cubes. I pop them in the oven, about 400 degrees, 30 to 40 minutes until they're tender. Sometimes I'll use an air fryer too. Then I put the sweet potatoes in the fridge. And then when I open the fridge, there they are waving at me, asking to be put in all these different recipes and fun things that I'm eating through the week.
All right, it looks like you brought a few dishes with you today. Can you walk us through what made you choose these dishes and why they're good choices for heart health?
Yes, I made 3 of my absolute favorites to show you just how versatile sweet potatoes are. I'm going to prove it to you. I have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner idea. First for breakfast, this is a sweet potato creamsicle smoothie. It's baked sweet potatoes with Greek yogurt, some vanilla extract, some orange juice. When you blend that up, it tastes just like a creamsicle. And those sweet potatoes not only add all that good heart smart nutrition, they also make this creamsicle super smooth and creamy, delicious. And then when it comes to lunch, I just love like fajita and taco style foods. The flavor is so delicious. So these are fajita stuffed sweet potatoes. This is a baked sweet potato half with the fajita style chicken peppers and onions right on top. This is such a quick and easy lunch. You can make them ahead and they're really grab and go. And then for dinner, I gotta tell you, this is social media famous. This is a hot honey sweet potato bowl, and sweet potatoes are the star of the show here, and it's rounded out with protein from ground turkey and cottage cheese. There's some sauteed greens on there, avocado, and the whole thing is drizzled with hot honey. And I love that. I probably make it at least once a week, if not more. Such a great way to see the versatility of a sweet potato all day long.
If people want to learn more about heart smart eating and recipes like these, where can they go for more information?
Okay, visit ncsweetpotatoes.com for all sorts of heart-smart sweet potato recipes and inspiration.
Jackson Blatner, one of my favorites. I want to thank you for joining me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and happy National Sweet Potato Month.
Do you ever wonder what it really takes to turn an old house into something fresh, warm, and full of life? Fixer to fabulous fans already know. It takes heart, talented, and a whole lot of Mars magic. Dave and Jenny Mars are back with a brand new season dropping December 2nd, and they're diving into everything from storm-damaged homes to charming historic makeovers. And today, we've got the duo, so let's talk to them. Dave and Jenny, how are you, my friends?
We're fantastic. How are you, Dan?
I'm doing pretty good. I wish you guys could come to my house and help me. This place was built in 1905, and it's just like drives me insane. It's horsehair in the walls and stuff, so I need your help.
Oh, yeah. Horsehair plaster, yes.
We can relate. We have a 1903 house, and it's always needing work.
It's like I can't put a nail in, otherwise I will get half the wall to come back crumbling onto the floor. And I'm like, I need that Jenny and Dave Mars magic, my friends.
I know, but the historic homes just have so much charm and character, and like because they're so challenging, they have to, or else you wouldn't be able to put up with it.
If there was more charm, it would be called Bewitched. That's what I think it is. Too much charm, I think. So this new season kicks off with you guys renovating a tornado-damaged home for your child's preschool teacher. What made that project feel so personal for you and your family?
Gosh, the tornadoes that went through, it was awful. A place that you really should feel the safest in your home, that was taken from them. So from the very first day to almost a year later, when they figured out insurance and everything to be able to then start the renovation, we were able to put so many things in that will protect them and their home, their family from future tornadoes, and the whole community came together. It was just a full circle moment that was, I don't know, it was really kind of needed for our area. Yeah. With all the damage that happened.
And you guys have completed more than 300 homes together. What's something that still surprises you when you walk into an older house for the first time?
Oh, I was going to say that we've completed 300 homes together. That really surprises me.
There you go.
I don't even, the math. I think I feel like, and you may get this because you're also in an older home, but I feel like homes, you walk in and you can feel it, like you can feel something in a home, and it's either good or bad. But there's some homes you walk into and you're like, I just can tell this home has had happy memories here, and it's such a special place. And I'm always curious about the history of homes and the things that have happened within that home and the lives that have been lived there. And so for us to be able to take an old home where generations of families have lived in, and then to make it work for a family now, like a modern family, and to renovate it in a way that's super functional. But really, we try to always preserve the history as much as we can. I love that. I love working on historic homes. Both of us do. Those are our favorite for sure.
Well, thank you too for joining me today. Maybe one day I could be on a future episode where I could go from funky to at least fixer. From where I'm at now, okay? But check out the brand new season of Fixer to Fabulous when it premieres on Tuesday, December 2nd on HGTV, and stream past seasons anytime on Max. If you want more behind-the-scenes stories, design ideas, or updates from the Mars family, you can head to hgtv.com/Fixer to Fabulous. I want to thank you two for joining me today, my friends.
Thanks for having us, Dan.
Thanks so much.
You.
Bye.
Hey, I want to thank you for tuning in to Rise and Unwind. If you want to be part of the show, just go to our website, riseunwindtv.com, fill out the form, send it in. Maybe you could be on a future episode. We're on social media, Facebook and Instagram. Plus, you can find our YouTube channel at Rise Unwind. And until next week, that was the show we like to call Rise and Unwind.